Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Core Keeper. I'm Matt, gentlemen. Today I'm gonna show you how to build a simple, actually two simple tree farms. Now, normally when I played this thing some time ago, this is what I did. This is like the most simple of simple things. You need the most basic of equipment you can get from the basic workbench, right? Because for this thing you need the wooden hoe and you need a watering can, and that's all you need. And basically a seed for the tree. Now in this game the trees are not called trees, obviously, because you are on the ground. It's called root seed. So with this you can basically start your wooden farm. You use the hoe on one simple tile. This is the copper one, so it's 2x2, but the wooden one will basically be 1x1. So just for information, like this. You plant the seed, you get yourself the watering can, and you water it. And you forget about it. And then it grows. From this little seed thingy, it's gonna grow slowly towards something. This one already grew. Something towards like this thing over here. And once this thing is gonna grow, once you're gonna see like the green leaves thingy, it's gonna generate trees around you. And that's it. You have yourself unlimited wood source. However, maybe you want to be a little bit more towards automation. Maybe you want this thing to get harvested automatically as you go outside and you do your thing. Maybe you don't have time nor the patience nor whatever to keep digging this thing through. Maybe you do, because as you can see, if you're gonna plant it like this, it's gonna grow into all directions around it. You don't need to hoe, I guess, tile the fields around the sapling thingy. You just need one for the seed. And after that you can leave it be. As you can see over here, even though this swing is not tiled, it still keeps growing. I like to make myself like 7x7 fields. So basically I have them like in a close enclosure, just in case. But as I said, maybe you want to automate the process. Because this is Core Keeper version 1.0, the developers have changed a lot of things. For example, normally you get the drill in the second phase of the game. Now you can actually get the drills at the very beginning of the game. You just need some tin. If you don't know where to get tin, you basically have to go towards the clay area. Here you're gonna find mountains and mountains upon of clay. Once you do that, tin. Once you do that, you have to smelt it, and you're gonna get yourself tin bars. With this, you go towards the, well, you need to craft those things. So the two tables that you need is the electronics table and automation table. If those things basically come from the tin workshop, which, as I said, should be very easy to acquire, no matter what difficulty and what type of experience you're gonna have in the game. And once you get that, you basically get all the tools necessary to start some basic automation. Obviously, on one of the tables, you can get yourself conveyor belts. They are not needed. They're nice to have, but they're not required. The thing that is required is it's a drill. As you can see, you require 8 tin bars to make one. So with this, you can automate the process. Now you probably noticed that I got this thing over here. The thing is that the developers have changed a little bit how electricity works in the game. You have yourself a separated table for making cables and stuff like that. Here you can get something called the electricity generator. Obviously you need one. You need some wires, and if you want to, you can get yourself a lever if you so desire. Once the sapling thingy is gonna grow, the tree thingy, the root thingy is gonna grow, it's gonna try to spread its seeds, his branches into 4 directions. So towards up, down, left, and right. Right? Once this thing is gonna be done, you can basically harvest those things, and you're gonna get yourself wood. Just don't touch the one element with the leaves, and you're gonna be fine, because this thing will just keep regrowing. Now, the thing is that this will not grow if, obviously, there's no terrain, if there is carpet or wooden floor, if there is a sand tile, or some other obstacle, like a wall, a fence, or some other obstacle that basically is on the surface. So if you cannot pass it, then probably there's a high chance that the tree won't grow over here as well. So that means if this thing is blocked from 3 different sides, it's just gonna go towards, well, towards south. And this is when the drill comes into play. Because I can build the drill, if I'm actually rotate it, keep an eye on the arrow. If I'm gonna build it like this, and then I'm gonna connect it to a generator, like such, then basically speaking, this thing is gonna turn on. And as soon as the root will grow over here, this thing will get automatically mined. There's only one thing, however, that I didn't test exactly just yet, didn't test thoroughly, is because I got used to building the generators and powering up to the drill, but apparently now even the lever provides with enough electricity for the drills to work. So I don't know will this thing get patched, but just so you know, just so you have this information for the future, if the video will become all of a sudden outdated. You can get yourself a generator, which is dirt cheap, and connect it by cables to the drill, and basically this should provide you with unlimited electricity. When I was testing this thing before, this drill just stopped to work. Like, even though the lever was turned on, this thing just stopped to work, but apparently now it's just keeps going on. But that's not important. What's important is that once the tree will grow, then the drill is gonna mine it and throw it behind itself. And basically you're gonna have like a nice juicy stack of lumber to collect from this side over here. But maybe you want this thing to travel, so you can pick up from multiple drills into one tile. So then, well, the conveyor belts come into play, and you have to play a bit of a factorio, I guess, because you can do something like this. So once wood actually will grow over here, then this thing go behind the drill, will go over here, here, and will land up somewhere underneath this torch over here. And that should happen, I think, momentarily. Now, you need to also remember one more thing when it comes to those roots thingies, because if you used to play Core Keeper back in the previous versions of the game, the developers have changed how the root works. Because now, they only grow on one tile at a time. Previously, they had the option to grow multiple times, one after another. Like, let's say one tile was having 5 seconds, the other one also counting down had like, let's say 3 seconds for grow, the other one was like 7 tiles and so on and so forth. There was a chance that this thing could grow in multiple ways. Now it can only grow towards one destination, but the cooldown apparently is a little bit shorter. And so the first timber have been just mined and it's going towards the torch, and that's where this thing is gonna remain. If I would have later on more resources, I could try to expand this thing by getting myself a robot arm and placing a chest behind it. So then the robot arm would just pick up the wood from the floor and drop it into the chest. But for timber, I don't think this is that much required, especially if you want to begin the game with some automation. But as I said, the root will now grow on one tile at a time. Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna have tremendous amounts of wood from one root, but there's one thing you can try to do to speed up the process a little tiny bit, by like milliseconds. Because to my understanding, when the game spawns a root, right, so the root will happen over here, will appear over here, then that means that the game should calculate all the spaces around it that are free, and we'll begin to grow the root over there as well. That's I think how it should work. I didn't do the testing yet, but as I said, that should be a theory. So in other words, if this tile over here is empty, this will receive a root and will be a fully grown root. Then the drill still requires like 1 or half a second to mine it out. And that 1/2 a second is something you could potentially try to save. Now, as I said, this isn't required. This is just like if you really want to go mid-maxing, like to its fullest. And I'm guessing there's probably like more advanced ways to advance this thing even further, to squeeze every single wood possible out of this build. But, well, if you really want to, you can try to do something like this. Get this. And I'm gonna place basically one over here, behind it, and then I'm gonna connect this thing to the rest of the network. Like this. So basically that means root will grow over here, game calculates, and I've just wasted half a second because the sapling will now grow the root to its north position. But as I said, this is like complete mid-maxing, and basically like with what, 8 tin bar and maybe 10 copper bars for the engine without the conveyor belts, and I need something for the wires, I think that's like also 3 or 1 copper bar. You can get yourself an automated tree farm. It's not a lot of resources. And with this, you just copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I came up with something like this, if this makes sense to you, right? One root over here, one root over here, chasm between them, so that means they can only grow down. One root over here, one root over here. So that means this one can either grow up or down. Same goes for this one. So he can either grow up or down. And this one for like supporting, right? So he can either grow left to right and so on and so forth. Rise and repeat a few times. 6 drills, few conveyor belts for convenience. Oh wait, I screwed up this one over here. Yeah, not like this. Like this. And of course cables underneath him. A switch and a generator just in case if the developers will change how the generators and electricity works in the future, because you never know when a patch is gonna come and it's gonna break your entire build, so that happens. This is just a safe check. Now do remember, if you're gonna do something like this, then your skills won't grow, right? Related to tree harvesting, I think to digging as well, because this is automated process, you don't participate in that. So I do actually like believe at the beginning you should try to do like a simple one. Something like this, so you can actually grow your skills. I do believe that some of the skills from the game are attached to tree harvesting, probably digging, I'm not sure. Because there's not like dedicated skill tree to wood harvesting, but there's one to mining, so I'm guessing this is one is related to mining as well. As you can see, this thing just keeps growing and it keeps going towards this pack over here. And it keeps stacking, and it will keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking till the sun is gonna die out. So yeah, if you're looking so for a very simple, easy to set up tree farm, I'm guessing this is your best option right now. Sure, you can try to tweak it a little bit back and forth, but the concept, the basics of it remains the same, right? Drill, root, and some electricity, and that's it. So yeah, I do hope that you're gonna use it. I do hope you're gonna enjoy it. If you're gonna twitch it around, twerk with it, I don't know, try to do something more fancy, let me know what you build up, and, well, for now, ladies and gentlemen, for now, I think I'm gonna leave this thing as it is. Thank you guys so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, subs a lot, see y'all in the next video.